the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Back to throw. Browning. And that one too wide and incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New York. And just shutting him off there. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off. And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. How about that? Their quarterback, 66 yards. And the Jaguars are closing in on a 4-1 start as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Even though he was forced from the pocket, still able to adjust, make the long throw, and it ends with a really big touchdown.
Yeah, moving to his left. The key to everything when they're moving outside of the pocket, doesn't matter which side, making sure those shoulders get around.
Oh, they pitch to the tight end. It's a fake. And that one goes virtually nowhere. Tried to fake extra point, but nothing comes of it.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number one, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number two, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
And the Jets set to take the field. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On the draw, it's Hall. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. To throw on 2nd down, Browning. So the pitch and catch good for 11. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary.
They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious... Discomfort. The red challenge flag making an appearance. Doug Peterson not liking what he saw there. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
So this offense able to convert on fourth, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10. Here's a give to Hall. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Here's Hall again. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The last 3 plays have resulted in gains of 1, 2, and now 3 yards here. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3. On the give, this is their fullback. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And that will force a turnover on downs. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Now a leaping catch. He's got it. And he's going to get this up to the 24-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. They'll look to throw. Now he's loose again. Now he's into the clear again. Touchdown. A big play there. 76 yards. And the Jaguars add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. They'll look to throw. Rolling to his left. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think he'd just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
The New York set to take the field. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Devon Hamilton in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Boy, tough spot here as they approach the line of scrimmage. A long way to go to try to pick up this 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 43. A beautiful fake. Oh, he nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. A little jet sweep to start the drive. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the night. And the Jaguars extend their lead yet again. So that, Charles, his second touchdown of the ball game. He had the more standard receiving touchdown earlier. This time he finds the end zone in the run game.
Yeah, it's almost as if he said, well, that's how I normally do it. That's almost boring. Give me another opportunity. This time I'll use my legs only and get into the end zone.
And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on two more.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And Browning's throw into the hands of Reynolds here. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. A tall task ahead of them here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
Well, we all know this quarterback had to spend plenty of time studying prior to the game, but he has to be tired of seeing these guys, especially him. 3rd time now he's brought this quarterback down. Whole defense has had a great game, but 3 sacks, not hard to find who one of the leaders of that effort was.
Oh, he shifts past him. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. Well, we've paid this offense plenty of compliments already, but, I mean, they are deserving as they start another series. To be leading by this much with so much time left to play in the 4th, Charles, it's... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great play there. 52 yards. And the Jaguars are pouring it on. But, Charles, in this win, they've really just had one speed, and that's been all out. They're still driving the ball downfield despite the circumstances in the big lead, and they just continue to find ways to get into the end zone with ease.
They're certainly in that zone where almost everything they try is successful and often leads to points. Teams don't get those types of games very often, so when they do, many of them just want to take advantage of it to the last second.
So the Jags will keep the offense out there as they'll decide to go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
Well, I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Off play action. Browning. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New York. And a fair catch taken here at the 5-yard line. Huh, interesting. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
Partner, you and I have struggled with this for years. You've got the lead. Just take care of the football and burn some of that clock. But there's something to be said for not taking your foot off the gas as well, because you can never have too big of a cushion. That one, though, falls incomplete.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. He's going to go up top again. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end. And from their own end zone, it's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Looking to throw. Browning. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. A very costly sack there on 3rd and goal. Pushes him back big time. And now you'd figure the field goal team coming on 4th.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Browning. Looking left-sided. The ball comes out, and the Jags grab it. And now, meanwhile, after the dust settles on the fumble, we've got an injured player here as well. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable 4th quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. 92 yards. And the Jaguars have got it on cruise control.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. So the Jags will keep the offense out there as they'll decide to go for two. They'll set up to throw. And unable to connect. They don't get the two-point conversion here. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a two-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense.
Ah, that's true. You've said that before. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Tyson Campbell, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there, and gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't, and also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys, but being down this big, you also...
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. It's their quarterback. 39 yards. And the Jaguars take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Well, where our booth is here, we can see all of the writers to our left, and their post-game stories, Charles, they have been filed for some time because this game, boy, is it lopsided.
Yeah, we can see our guy Scoop. He's even got his fedora tipped over his face. I think he's taking a nap now. Nothing left to write for him, but how gratifying has it been for them to see what they've done in practice and carry it into a game and see the execution be so good. They've got to feel fantastic about what they've accomplished in this one.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. They're going to take this up close to the 40, so really good starting field position. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that...
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Antonio Johnson. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Back to throw here. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Operating from the gun, Browning. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. Up front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. And there he goes again. And they are going to finish this one off strong. It's a return touchdown to add on to their lead in the final stages. Now a 2-point conversion attempt forthcoming. They'll try and run it up the middle. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do, because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
This now a 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Browning. This pass complete to Reynolds. And he is going to have a Jets first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. On first down, Browning. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific.
Can't get away, and he's taken down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And I notice you use the word sparked, because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Andre Cisco. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Now a hit and a loose football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And that final kickoff concludes the ball game, partner. And one side, a really nice win in this one. They were good on offense and on defense.
And I'm guessing in the other locker room, partner, the head coach is just telling his team, hey, we didn't play well enough to keep it close enough where that one possession down the stretch might have given us an opportunity to win the game.
So for the Jags, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From MetLife Stadium, good night, everybody.
Focus on the commas.